While House Democrats were busy stonewalling any attempt to secure our borders, a 59-year-old American woman was stabbed to death in her own home by an illegal alien who, get this, had been arrested at least 10 times. Yeah, you might have heard all about Paul Manafort this week, but I bet you don't know Bambi Larson's name. Carlos Carranza, a Salvadoran illegal alien who's got a rap sheet about as long as the Rio Grande, was arrested in California Tuesday and charged with murdering a 59-year-old woman back in February. Bambi Larson was found stabbed to death in her San Jose home by her son and a co-worker after she failed to show up for work on February 28th. Police say Carranza stalked Larson before finally killing her, saying that they've got surveillance video showing him entering and exiting her home around the time of her murder. Now here's the real kicker. Carranza was a well-known criminal and gang member. In Santa Clara County alone, he had a criminal history including kidnapping, drug possession, battery on a police officer, trespassing, and burglary. He'd been diagnosed with psychosis back in 2016. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement even said that they had tried to deport this guy 9 times before, but they couldn't because their detainers were repeatedly ignored by both Los Angeles and Santa Clara counties. In fact, Carranza had been convicted of 10 crimes in just the past 3 years alone, but had been continually released after serving his time thanks to sanctuary city policies that prohibit local law enforcement from notifying ICE. But while Bambi Larson was busy getting stabbed to death by a guy who had no business being in this country, let alone in her house, here's what Democrats were doing. Blocking Trump's attempts to build a wall to try and stop violent criminals like this guy from getting into the U.S. in the first place, and drafting bills granting upwards of 2 million more aliens access to taxpayer financial aid and a pathway to citizenship. Because, hey, nothing says we care about our own people quite like giving illegals more incentives to come here and violate our laws. And it's all at the expense of people like you and me and Bambi Larson. Did you know that less than 2 weeks ago, ICE, you know, the agencies that all the progressives want to do away with entirely, they picked up 20 criminal aliens in New York alone whose immigration detainers had been ignored. Their crimes ranged from tax fraud and drugs to strangulation, assault, and rape. Hear about any of those? No, of course you didn't. But we are going to keep talking about it here. We're going to keep telling the stories of these victims who will never make a national news headline on TV because their lives were worth something. Bambi Larson was worth something. And she was worth a heck of a lot more than some leftist ploy to get votes at the expense of American lives. And that's your reality check, guys. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, like us on Facebook and Twitter. Stay sane out there.